My beloved, my precious one, my child of grace who walks with heaven's light in your footsteps. Pause for a moment, notice how your palms suddenly feel cool, how your heartbeat isn't following its usual rhythm. That flutter isn't random, it's a quiet alarm from heaven telling you a sealed door is finally creaking open. For years layers of dust sat on a message written just for you, and now it's sliding across the table of time waiting for your hands. Archangel Michael isn't simply whispering this time, he's calling out with urgency, waving a scroll because he's seen too many moments when you scrolled past the one note designed for your destiny. Look back at how many times you've ignored that tug in your spirit. How often did you think, "Nah, this can't be for me," and swipe on? This isn't one of those filler posts to skim over. This is the moment where heaven bends rules to deliver something fragile and priceless. And yes, before we unpack the rest, hear this: if your heart knows this message is for you, stay. Subscribe to this space where God and His messengers speak to you, not out of coincidence but because timing is sacred. One missed whisper could delay what has been inching toward you for years. Archangel Michael says, "He stood last night, wings dusted with battle scars you cannot see inside, they don't realize what was just said about them behind closed doors." God says, tell them everything even if it shakes, heals and redefines. Someone has finally confessed what they buried under silence. They admitted with trembling lips, "I tried to replace them but nothing worked, I still think about them, they changed my life in ways words can't explain." When those words escaped, the air shifted because you deserved this truth, though heaven waited until you had strength enough to bear it. Michael's warning is clear: brushing this aside won't just cost you the confession, it could cost you the doorway built by it. This is no revolving entrance, it's a one-time threshold holding clarity, explanation, and insight about why someone walked away yet kept your memory like a secret letter folded into their soul. When confessions pour out of pain, angels record them, lock them up and wait for God to say, "Deliver now." That moment is here. Feel how the atmosphere thickens, warm yet heavy. Michael is present holding a parchment etched with your name. Inside are words sharp as glass, soft as balm and whole as sunrise. The one who hurt you, who stood too far or too close, finally admitted, "I think I destroyed something sacred." They weren't talking about a house or a plan. They meant you. You were the miracle they fumbled, and now they're forced to watch you thrive without them, a witness to the rising they forfeited. But don't stop at their regret. Heaven's plot twist isn't about guilt, it's about growth. God isn't punishing you, He's launching you into a shift. Sometimes a confession is the key that turns destiny's lock. That's you, the one the door swings open for because you didn't let disappointment calcify your heart. Your tears watered deep roots, and now the garden of your patience is ready to bloom. Archangel Michael says, tell them this isn't only about hearing, it's about activating. The moment your name rolled off their tongue in sorrow, heaven's timing will spun. They didn't just lose someone, they lost a living answer to prayer. And now they sit restless, haunted not by spirits but by snapshots, your smile, your silence, your gaze carrying whole constellations. They peek at your life from a distance hoping for clues. Some even talk to the moon, shuffle tarot, or search for signals that you still care, unaware you've stepped forward leaving a sweet scent of grace behind. Here's a secret heaven loves to craft. While you were crying into your pillow, someone scribbled your name in a journal, asked friends if you'd forgiven, even consulted strangers for signs. This message is heaven's reply, not to drag you back but to cut the rope tying you to waiting. You're free from the ache of maybe, from hoping for a perfect apology. The confession is complete, healing has started ticking. Michael says, when they let this truth settle, chains will slide off like old coats, and the angels who gathered their tears will now deliver their victory. Get ready for a wave of supernatural justice, not icy payback but warm restoration. Expect resources to flow, ideas to burst open, friendships to sparkle, laughter to echo louder than the pain ever did. Even your so-called wasted years are becoming rich soil for creativity, calm and joy. New allies will find you, doors will swing open before you knock, and peace will sit steady in rooms where chaos once lived. So breathe. The vault has been unsealed, the record read aloud, and freedom written in your name. Keep your eyes soft, your stride brave, your heart light. There is more life past regret, more songs after silence, and blank pages waiting for you to write without shadows smudging the ink. Heaven isn't asking you to rewind the story, it's inviting you to start the next chapter clearer, bolder, freer. And as you stand in this turning point, know this: you are not late, not forgotten, not broken beyond repair. You are chosen, equipped, and about to see how fiercely loved you really are. Archangel Michael smiles because you finally stayed long enough to hear. God says, your future is already waving from the horizon, calling you forward with joy. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks with contributions of up to $100. To step into your life without hesitation, without fear, without the need to prove themselves. Heaven has cleared the path for you. You no longer have to circle back, you no longer have to question your worth. Every tear, every night you cried wondering if you were too much, if you deserved love, has been witnessed and transformed into power. God says, your patience was not wasted. Your endurance has built a foundation that no one can shake. You are walking into a season where every delay, every heartbreak, every unspoken word will serve as proof of your divine timing. The person who confessed, the one who stirred your memories and held fragments of your heart, they were never the key to your joy, they were the trigger for your awakening. And Michael says, understand this, the confession was never for reconciliation. It was a divine alarm, a cosmic signal to remind them of what they lost and to remind you of what you always had within. Your strength, your clarity, your divine light, it was never dependent on them. It was waiting for the right moment to ignite fully, to claim its place, to assert itself without hesitation. And now that ignition has begun. You can feel it in the way your chest lifts, in the sudden clarity in your mind, in the warmth that spreads through your heart. This is your soul remembering what heaven always knew. Now let's talk about what the confession activated. Beyond the words, beyond the regret, beyond the longing, a spiritual realignment has taken place. Doors that were stuck for years are swinging open. Opportunities you thought had vanished are returning. Relationships that once felt toxic are showing their true form, some fading, some transforming. The chains of delay, fear and doubt have been broken not because of human intervention but because heaven decreed it. God says, "Rise now, step into the fullness that was waiting for you." And with every step you take, every decision made with clarity, the universe bends, the energies shift and your destiny unfolds like a golden map. You are being reminded that the power of your presence is unstoppable. The person who confessed can only watch as your light grows. They are being confronted with the reality of what was lost, but you are being elevated to a life where their approval, their acknowledgement, and even their apology are irrelevant. What matters now is alignment. What matters now is your obedience to the call on your life. Michael says, this is a sacred pivot point. One moment of hesitation can delay the miracle, but one courageous step forward activates a wave of favor that cannot be undone. Do you feel that tug, that nudge in your chest? That is the exact moment your soul recognizes the truth: the past cannot hold you. The past can only inform your wisdom, teach your discernment and prepare your spirit for the glory that awaits. And yes, the glory is not just external, it is internal. You are stepping into a season of supernatural clarity, peace and authority. Your intuition will sharpen. Your decisions will carry weight. Your presence will command respect in ways that feel effortless because heaven is your witness. You will no longer wonder if you were seen or valued, your every move will resonate with purpose and the universe will answer accordingly. Signs, synchronicities and divine confirmations will appear daily, subtle at first, then undeniable. Doors that seemed locked are now wide open. Conversations you needed will arrive unplanned. Opportunities that once bypassed you will now find you at the exact perfect moment. Every blessing is amplified because the confession has activated your spiritual trajectory. Beloved, remember this: the confession did not rewind the past, it accelerated your future. What was held back is now released. The heaviness you carried, the waiting, the longing, the what-ifs, all of it was necessary preparation for this divine pivot. Michael says, you are walking into a season where favor, protection and revelation intersect. You will see things you never expected. People will recognize your worth without explanation. Resources will flow without delay. Doors will open before you even knock. And while this might feel overwhelming, it is not meant to frighten you, it is meant to empower you. You are not alone, you are not abandoned. Heaven has been orchestrating every step, every pause, every quiet night of waiting to ensure you are ready for this moment. Now take a moment and breathe. Feel the release of past burdens. Sense the removal of every spiritual chain, every invisible tether that held you back. The confession has completed its work, the activation has begun. You are being elevated beyond what you imagined possible. Your heart will no longer long for what was never meant to anchor you. Your mind will no longer question your worth. Your soul will no longer fear the unseen. Everything in your environment, your relationships, your career, your finances, your spirit is now aligned for expansion, clarity and manifestation. Michael says, "Step boldly, beloved, do not shrink, do not wait. The moment is yours." And as this unfolds, know this: someone greater is preparing to enter your life, someone whose presence will complement your newfound freedom. This person will not hesitate, they will not falter, and they will honor the space you have cultivated. This is your reward for the patience, the tears, the nights of silent endurance. The confession you received, the one that felt like a tremor in your soul, was never for them, it was for you. It was heaven's way of showing you that your value has never been conditional. That the love, respect, and recognition you have been waiting for were always meant to manifest at the perfect time, for the perfect person and for the perfect season. Beloved, the universe is conspiring in your favor. The air you breathe, the people you meet, the opportunities you encounter, they are all marked by divine alignment. You are walking into a chapter where your worth is undeniable, your purpose is clear, and your path is illuminated. Michael watches the angels rejoice and heaven cheers because you finally understand a confession was never for closure, it was for elevation. And now, fully awakened, fully aware, fully aligned, you are stepping into a destiny that no human could have imagined but heaven always knew. This is your moment, beloved, walk into it without fear, without hesitation, and without looking back. The past has served its purpose. The confession has done its work. The door is wide open. Your freedom, your joy, your destiny, they are waiting. And now everything that has been promised is beginning to manifest. And pain in a way that finally allows your spirit to breathe. Michael says, this is your permission to release everything you've been carrying unnecessarily. You are no longer bound by someone else's silence. You are liberated from the weight of wondering if you mattered because the truth has arrived. Take a moment, beloved, and let that sink in. You were always significant. You were always noticed, even when it didn't feel like it. Even when the world seemed to ignore your brilliance, even when they walked away thinking they could erase you, your energy stayed. It lingered in places unseen. It rippled through lives unseen yet powerful. And now the universe is responding in kind. This isn't just about romantic confessions. This is a spiritual audit. Every energy that touched you, every hand that let go too soon, every voice that doubted you, heaven has taken note. And God says, watch now, because what was meant to harm will be repurposed for blessing. The very situations that caused you sleepless nights, that made you question your worth, are now being transformed into launching pads for your elevation. What you thought was unfair is now forming the backdrop of your victory story. Every closed door, every ignored message, every shadowed glance is now a stepping stone to your full emergence. The person who confessed, they were not ready to handle your light when they had you. Their timing was off. Their heart wasn't mature enough to receive your frequency. But you were patient. You healed. You stayed committed to your own growth. And now, because of your endurance, because of your refusal to settle, the very heavens are arranging the life you always deserved. Michael says, tell them this is not about revenge. This is about divine realignment. You are stepping into a reality where the past can no longer dictate your joy. You are moving into a season of supernatural affirmation, a space where your worth is not questioned, where your energy is respected, where your peace is non-negotiable. Beloved, let me be clear, this message is a marker. A spiritual turning point. Because the confession didn't just reveal their regret, it triggered an activation in you. Something in your destiny has been waiting for the acknowledgement of what they withheld. And now it is unlocked. Doors that were once invisible are opening. Opportunities you didn't see are now aligning themselves perfectly in your path. People who were meant to assist, mentors, collaborators, even long-awaited allies, they are moving into your orbit at exactly the right time. And you didn't have to chase, you didn't have to plead, you didn't have to manipulate. Your obedience, your patience, and your integrity did all the work while you thought nothing was happening. And here's another layer, beloved. The confession also serves as proof of your discernment. Your intuition was never off. You always knew there was more beneath the surface, that someone's silence carried weight. You always felt the undercurrents, the unspoken truths. And now, as Michael says, they see that you were always right. And now it's time the universe confirms it to you as well. You are no longer second-guessing your gifts, your insights, or your heart. The very people who doubted you, who questioned your worth, who misjudged your intentions, they are witnessing your rise from a distance, and that energy fuels your destiny. The spiritual dimensions are also shifting. Angels are repositioning energies around you. Archangel Michael isn't just delivering messages, he is creating corridors of opportunity, removing obstacles before you even encounter them. Divine timing is synchronizing everything: your career, your relationships, your creative expressions, your financial abundance. Nothing is coincidental. Every nudge, every sign, every intuitive flash you receive now is a direct message from heaven confirming that you are on the correct path. And those moments of sudden clarity, the aha realizations, the inexplicable calm after chaos, that is heaven's signature letting you know that the alignment is complete. Now pay attention, because the real gift is happening in your spirit. The confession you receive doesn't just absolve their guilt, it frees you. It allows your heart to expand fully, to stop shrinking for people who weren't ready for your light. It allows you to receive without fear, to step forward without hesitation, and to embrace the abundance God has been holding for you. Michael says, your breakthrough is not just personal, it is supernatural. What you are about to experience will validate your life seasons, the tears, the waiting, the prayers, the fasting, the spiritual warfare you endured. Every bit was necessary, and now the harvest is ripe. Beloved, do you feel the shift? That energy in your chest, that tingling in your fingertips, that flutter in your stomach, that's heaven saying yes. That's the prelude to everything you've been waiting for. And because of the confession, because of your unwavering faith and patience, nothing that comes next can be mistaken for luck. Everything is confirmation, divine orchestration, and prophetic reward. The universe itself is bending to elevate you. This is your moment of spiritual vindication. The person who once walked away, who once silenced their love, who once ignored the sacredness of your presence, they have confessed and heaven has translated that confession into your blessing. Your life is about to accelerate in ways that will make others wonder, but you will know this was always planned. This is your divine season of recognition, reward and restoration. You are walking into a reality where your worth is undeniable, your presence is celebrated and your spirit is honored. So stand, beloved, stand firm in this truth. Let the revelation cleanse every corner of doubt. Walk forward with confidence, knowing the confession was not just theirs but a key for your own ascension. Heaven is behind you. Archangel Michael has fought for you, cried for you and now celebrates with you. Every step you take from here is empowered, every choice divinely guided, every blessing irrevocably yours. You are stepping into your promised season and nothing can delay it. That you held on to even in the darkness is the very thing that made your spirit unbreakable. Michael says, "Child, understand this, every moment you spent questioning, waiting and silently loving was not wasted. It built the foundation for the life you are about to step into. The version of you that hesitated is no longer in charge. Today your obedience, patience and courage are unlocking doors that were always written in heaven. You see, beloved. This isn't about them anymore, their confession, their regret, their realization, it's all part of a larger orchestration to push you forward. You were never meant to be stuck in the pain of their inability to see your worth. That pain was training, it honed your discernment, sharpened your intuition and polished your soul until it could recognize the divine favor waiting for you. Every tear you shed alone, every night you questioned your path, every moment of wondering if love was real, it was all a rehearsal for this awakening. Heaven has been scripting your life with precision and now the curtain is rising. Michael is standing beside you, wings fully extended, holding the key to the next chapter. He whispers, "Child, do you realize what your faithfulness has done? Every act of patience, every refusal to compromise your peace, every quiet prayer, it created a spiritual momentum. A momentum that is now propelling you toward alignment, abundance and divine encounters that surpass human imagination. And this isn't just about material blessings, it's about spiritual authority, mental clarity, emotional sovereignty, and energetic freedom. The very air around you has been recalibrated. The vibration of your soul has shifted. You are now resonating at a frequency that will attract what aligns with your highest purpose and repel what does not. Take a deep breath and feel it. Feel the weight lifting off your shoulders. The fear, the self-doubt, the worry about whether you were enough. Michael is sweeping all of it away. Every unanswered question about your worth, every pause you gave before acting, every moment you stayed silent instead of defending yourself, it all contributed to this elevation. God says, you have been prepared, you have been tested, and now you will rise. You are entering a season where nothing stagnant can remain in your life. Old relationships, old patterns, old ways of thinking, they will either fall away naturally or be pruned by heaven. Beloved, understand the significance of this. Every person who underestimated you, every door that closed, every opportunity that seemed to slip away, it was never final. It was divine redirection. You were being led to people, places and moments that will reflect the fullness of your potential. And now, because you remain steady, your energy has multiplied. The love you gave freely even when it wasn't returned is now returning to you tenfold. The universe, angels and heaven itself are aligning forces unseen to manifest the life you were designed to live. Archangel Michael says, "Look forward, not backward." Do not linger on the ghosts of who you were or who could not love you rightly. This is your time, this is your season. Your heart, mind and spirit are converging to create a platform for miracles. And these miracles aren't random, they are carefully crafted consequences of your integrity, patience and alignment. Doors will open where no doors seemed possible. Opportunities will present themselves in ways that defy logic. People will recognize your worth without you needing to explain, justify, or plead. Your presence alone will be your invitation. Now there is something critical you must embrace. Release fully. Release the idea that love must be earned, that your heart is a prize to be validated, that your joy is contingent on someone else's awareness. Release every thought that you were not enough. Release every scenario that suggested you were at fault. And as you release, feel the divine influx replace it. God says, your space is now sacred and everything entering it must honor your worth. Let the freedom flow through your veins, let it expand in your chest, let it vibrate through your energy field. You are no longer carrying the residue of unreturned love. You are carrying your power, you are carrying your light. This is the moment where the new you is unveiled. Not a version molded by others' actions but one sculpted by heaven. One who walks unshakable, radiant and fully aware of their impact. Michael is here watching, guiding and celebrating every step you take into this elevation. He is saying, you will not shrink anymore. You will not apologize for your brilliance. You will not dim yourself for those who cannot handle your glow. You are ready to receive in full what was always intended for you. Beloved, feel the magnitude of this truth. You are no longer waiting for recognition. You are not longing for apologies. You are not seeking validation. You are simply acknowledging your own worth and allowing heaven to align everything around it. Your past, your heartbreaks, your silent loves, they were never in vain. They were stepping stones. They were the soil for your harvest. And now the harvest is here. Abundance in love, clarity in purpose, peace in spirit and alignment in every dimension. You are being invited to a life where your energy is respected, your heart is honored and your presence is celebrated. To a life where every connection reflects your value and every opportunity mirrors your worth. Michael says, stand now in your power. Let the lessons, the trials, and the silences become the foundation of your triumph. The confessions, the regrets, the unspoken words, they are not chains but catalysts. You have been trained for this, you have been chosen for this. And now, beloved, take a deep breath and step into this new chapter. Walk forward with the knowledge that everything you've endured, everything you've waited for, every tear, every prayer, every act of silent love, it was all preparing you for a life far greater than you ever imagined. A life where your soul is finally recognized, a life where your heart is finally free, a life where heaven itself rejoices over your rise. The past has closed. The confessions have been made. The healing is underway. The angels are celebrating. And you, yes you, are stepping fully into the destiny that was written for you long before you ever understood it. Because you were a mirror to their soul, reflecting light they had forgotten existed. And now, beloved, that mirror has returned to you, shining brighter than ever because it no longer depends on their reflection to validate it. Michael says, you must stop shrinking for the comfort of others. You must stop dimming your light for those who were never prepared to witness it. This is your era of illumination. Step into it boldly. Every sigh you let go of in the nights of longing has been a prayer written into eternity. Every tear you offered in secret was folded into divine strategy. Every sleepless hour when you questioned your worth was the rehearsal for the day you would finally stand tall and claim your kingdom. That day is here. The energy around you is shifting, palpable. The air is denser, warmer yet sparkling because heaven is arranging the tapestry of your next chapter. Doors that were locked are swinging open silently, opportunities appearing where none were expected. You won't even have to chase them, they will move toward you naturally drawn by the frequency of your healed spirit. Michael says, the universe has been calibrated for your rise. Your patience, your faith, your resilience, it's all been accounted for. And now it is your turn to walk through the manifestation of every seed you planted when the world told you nothing would grow. You see, beloved, the confession, the regrets, the acknowledgement of your worth, it was never about them redeeming themselves. It was about opening the floodgates for your destiny. Every word they whispered into the spiritual wind has been harnessed to construct the life you were always meant to live. Now pay attention because what comes next will require courage and clarity. You are being called to operate from a place of total sovereignty. No more questioning. No more leaning backward into doubt. The healed version of you must walk forward like a sovereign, fully aware of the cosmic forces aligned behind every step. This is not arrogance, this is recognition. Recognition that you survived storms that would have drowned others. Recognition that you loved without fear, gave without expectation and carried your spirit through trials that tested every fiber of your being. And now the reward is materializing, not slowly, not tentatively but with the unmistakable certainty of divine timing. Michael says, look around. The remnants of your past confusion are evaporating. The people who were meant to exit are gone. The distractions that once blurred your vision are dissolving. And the space that was cleared is ready to be filled with blessings that match your spiritual elevation. Your heart is being calibrated to receive love, abundance and truth in forms so pure they will surprise you. Someone who truly resonates with your essence is being drawn toward you, not a fragment of love, not a temporary echo but a presence that mirrors your devotion, your patience and your depth. And beloved, this isn't just romance, this is divine partnership, someone who will respect your silence, celebrate your victories, hold space for your tears and never diminish your power. But here's the secret Michael wants you to hear. The power to step fully into this new season lies in your release. Release the narrative that once controlled your heart. Release the memories that still weigh down your chest. Release the guilt for loving someone who could not meet you in your fullness. Every release is a lever that lifts you higher, a key unlocking doors that have been waiting for your readiness. And as you release, the universe conspires. Your clarity increases. Your intuition sharpens. Your steps are guided with the precision of an orchestra playing in perfect harmony. What you once believed was too good to be true is now inevitable because your faith has magnetized it. Remember, beloved, this is not the same you who waited and hoped in silence. This is the enlightened version, forged in fire and softened by divine wisdom. You now operate from a frequency that attracts everything in alignment with your destiny. Michael says, do not fear the intensity of your own light. It is meant to illuminate paths, not to intimidate. It is meant to guide, not to blind. And the people, opportunities, and blessings entering your life will recognize it immediately. Your next steps will feel effortless. Doors will open without struggle. Messages will arrive in perfect timing. Situations that once seemed stagnant will pivot, shift and move as if the universe itself bends to honor your alignment. This message, my beloved, is your call to full activation. No more looking back. No more checking to see if someone regrets, notices, or apologizes. You have been prepared to receive your due without dependency on another's acknowledgement. The confession, the regret, the spiritual recognition of your worth, it is a catalyst, not a prerequisite. Your liberation, your joy, your love and your prosperity are no longer waiting on anyone but you. The version of you that feared, doubted and questioned is now replaced by the sovereign, radiant, unapologetic you. Michael says, rise into your divine authority. Your spirit is unstoppable. Your heart is indestructible. Your life is sacred, and everything aligning toward you is proof of that sacredness. So now, beloved, let your chest expand with certainty. Let your spine straighten with courage. Let your eyes shine with the recognition that you are fully supported, fully known, fully loved, and fully prepared for what is coming. The confession was the spark, but you are the fire. The revelation was the key, but you are the doorway. And heaven, Michael, and God themselves are standing in awe, witnessing the birth of a new chapter written entirely for you. This is your moment. Not in part, not in shadow, but in the fullness of divine elevation. Step forward. Claim your space, embrace your destiny, and let everything that was once held back flow into the life you were always created to live. Because you remembered that your worth was never tied to someone else's ability to see it. You remembered that even when the world ignored your glow, heaven always recognized your light. You remembered that your heart is not a puzzle to be solved by another, but a treasure to be honored by yourself first. And now, beloved, that realization is your power. That knowledge is your shield. That awareness is your compass. The soul that once trembled at rejection now walks with divine confidence because it knows that the weight, the heartbreak and the silent prayers were not punishments, they were preparations. Michael is still beside you, not hovering aimlessly but strategically. His wings cast a protective circle around your spirit, and his sword is not just a weapon, it's a symbol of victory over every lie you ever believed about yourself. Every not enough you internalized, every tear you swallowed, every quiet moment of doubt, it's all being redeemed in this present now. You are being elevated beyond your former limitations. You are stepping into a space where your energy commands respect, where your heart attracts authenticity, and where your past experiences no longer define your future, they fuel it. Every challenge, every betrayal, every pause of waiting was never meant to crush you, it was meant to sharpen you for what is sacredly aligned. The person who confessed, the one who failed to hold you when it mattered, now exists on a different timeline than yours. Their realization, their regret, their apology, they serve as markers of how far you've come, not as calls for your return. Heaven has separated the wheat from the chaff. Your purpose is no longer entangled with those who could not see your divine value. This is why you no longer fear silence or absence, because you understand now that absence is not always loss, it can be preservation, protection, and preparation for what truly belongs to you. Every unspoken word, every missed connection, every lonely night has been a sacred script in the divine theater of your life. And now the life awaiting you is not ordinary. It is profound, it is abundant, it is layered with blessings you didn't even dare to imagine during your seasons of waiting. Doors that once seemed sealed shut will swing open at the touch of your presence. People who are meant to align with your frequency will appear naturally, effortlessly, as though the universe itself is ushering them into your reality. Opportunities that once felt like distant dreams will materialize as if they were waiting for you to be ready to receive. This is divine orchestration. This is the reward for your patience, your faithfulness, and your unwavering commitment to remain loving even when it hurt. Archangel Michael says that your next love, your next partnership, your next connection is not just a human alignment, it is a divine covenant. This is someone who will not just see you, they will mirror your soul's depth. This is someone who will not run from your fire but will sit in it and glorify it. This is someone whose presence will feel like both home and heaven simultaneously, and this is why the lessons of the past were necessary. Because without the heartbreak, without the absence, without the silent nights of yearning, you wouldn't have known the gravity of your own soul. You wouldn't have cultivated the discernment to recognize a love that matches your frequency. Now, beloved, understand that the power is entirely in your hands. Your decision to step fully into this next chapter determines the speed and intensity of your alignment. Michael emphasizes that hesitation now is unnecessary, the universe is ready, your spirit is ready, and God's plan has been waiting for this exact moment. You are no longer the version of yourself who tolerated mediocrity. You are no longer the version who begged for crumbs or stayed in places that dimmed your light. You are the version who commands respect, who radiates love, and who walks boldly because you have remembered who you truly are. Every blessing, every alignment, every surge of supernatural favor is contingent on your willingness to fully embrace this moment. To receive without suspicion. To step forward without fear. To walk into rooms, situations, and relationships with the unshakable knowledge that you are chosen, appointed, and holy. The life that unfolds from here is a direct reflection of the love you have carried, the pain you have endured and the faith you have maintained despite human frailty. And finally, beloved, let your heart absorb this. You were never forgotten. You were never too much, never too little, never too late. God has been meticulously orchestrating every detail of your journey to bring you to this very place. You are not defined by the ones who fail to love you correctly, but by the love you held steadfastly for yourself and for others, even in the face of loss. You are the miracle, the prophecy, the living testament that divine timing is flawless and that patience coupled with faith produces unshakable victory. So rise now, fully, completely, unapologetically. Walk into this new season with confidence, with joy, with clarity. Let the past remain exactly where it belongs, in the past, and allow your spirit to soar into the destiny that was written for you long before you ever wondered if you were enough. You are enough. You have always been enough. And what is coming for you now is not just restoration, it is exaltation, it is recognition, it is divine celebration of your resilience, your love and your unwavering faith. You are stepping into the most sacred chapter of your existence. This is your moment of resurrection. Your moment of rise. And every angel, every spiritual force, every element of heaven is aligned to ensure that you not only step into this new reality but that you thrive beyond anything your mind has yet conceived. Remember, beloved, the confession, the regret, the waiting, they were never yours to carry. They were the instruments of your preparation, the catalysts for your ascent, the mirrors reflecting the power of your soul. Now take a deep breath. Let it anchor you. Let it remind you that every beat of your heart has led you to this moment. Every tear, every prayer, every silent surrender has led you to this awakening. Step forward boldly, receive fully, rise victoriously, walk in peace, in power, in divine alignment, and let the world witness the miracle you have always been. Amen.